You got to redirect the behavior. And we're going to redirect the behavior back to bucket list because this is stressing me out talking about that. So I want to reduce my stress when it comes to interacting with large predators that can take me out in a bite. So anyway, on my bucket list that there aren't a lot of large predators is I want to either hit the North or the South Pole.
Bring it on!
Welcome to Girls Gone Gritty. I'm Farley Boyle.
I'm Darian Boyle.
And I'm Jennifer Brenius.
Collectively, we're two sister-in-laws with our bestie.
We don't just talk, we do it. Day, night, mountain, beach, and city.
Get ready as we bring gratitude and attitude to everything we do.
We jump in head first, unafraid, and we're all in all the time.
We bring it on and get it on each week, diving deep into authentic, unscripted conversations
on just about everything.
So, let's get gritty.
Bring it on! Bring it on! Don't wait until tomorrow!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Girls Gone Gritty here at Bring It On Studios, sitting here with my girls. It's always my favorite time of the week to sit here with you girls. And I was thinking the other day, for so many things that we've all done between all of us, whether it's travel, whether it's sports, whether it's just scaring yourself or going, hey, it's an experience that I've had. I think we've done it all. But there is a list that I have, and I'm sure you do, of more experiences that are called the bucket list. And today we're talking about the bucket list, and I do have a lot. I mean, I remember that.
It's a new year.
It's a new year.
2025.
There was
But
that
big one.
bucket
I think it's a big one too. I feel like I don't know. I'm like one of those 2025.
It's like century.
It's a mark. It's a
Century.
big mark.
But when you're thinking about bucket lists, I remember that. Forgot the name of the movie, that it's like the two old men and they had the bucket list because he's dying. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's called the bucket list.
Mhm.
It's 2007.
I think
Yeah.
everybody should have a bucket list because if you don't have a wish to go somewhere or a goal to do something, then you're not going to do it. So say it, make it real, write it down, make it real, kind of like our boards that we're going to do.
Right.
But truly, I think like bucket lists can be travel. I think it can be an experience. And we always say it to each other as we're like hearing about somebody doing something fun. Up, that's on my bucket list. I mean, how often do you guys hear me say that?
Yeah, and well, listen, it comes from you want to do it before you kick the
Like
bucket.
Kentucky Derby
Before you-
is on my bucket
Before you kick the bucket, you need to take and
The
put
bucket list.
lots of things in your bucket
True.
so that when you kick the bucket,
Your bucket runneth over.
You're full.
And it's just travel. I mean, it could be your bucket list could be, hey, I have this career goal I want to do, or hey, I want to lose weight, or I have a dream house that I
That's not
want
my
to do.
bucket
No, but I've talked to people before. And
That's
they,
your New Year's resolution.
all right. Yeah, I guess not.
Wow.
Bucket lists are bigger than
Bucket
these.
lists are fun.
No,
Exciting things that are like maybe you think out of reach or out of reality, or you just know you want to do it so badly that you're going to make it happen.
okay. So
Like
let's
an air balloon ride, or
your bucket list. Far.
I mean,
What
my
is on
mother's
your
bucket-
bucket list?
I'll tell you what my mother's bucket list was. And she said it and it became a reality. She told my dad she wanted to become a pilot. And he's like, oh, really? You want to be a pilot? And she's like, I want to become a pilot. And she's like, and I'd like to do a hot air balloon trip at some point in my life. My dad gave her for Christmas one year a hot air balloon trip. And another year he gave her like to become a pilot license, like the whole program, and signed her up. And my mom learned how to fly Cessna planes and she became a pilot.
I love that.
So, that's to me like what a bucket list is. It could be somewhat maybe unrealistic in your brain, but that's why you have to figure out how to make it happen. It's something that you want. It's something that turns you on. It excites you. It stokes your flame.
For me, it's making a dream a reality.
Yes.
And making that happen. And I was explaining to Didi the other day, what's on your bucket list? She's like, bucket list, Mom, I'm young. I'm going to do it all. Like my bucket list is life. And the thing she was saying that she wanted to do, I was like, oh, I did that. I want to do that. I want to do that with you. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's a
personal.
Well, I definitely
Personal.
I think in Dee Dee's defense, though, bucket list is something that people think about when they're of a little bit more
but that's what she said.
aged. It's like you're more thinking about like, okay, I understand that the passage of time and I understand how quickly things go. And I need to actually articulate, write things down. I need to say that like this is on a goal list of life that is important. And I'm going to try and check every single one off and put every single one on the bucket and then ring that bell at the top. And I think what is really interesting is that it doesn't matter where you are. There always can be something else on your bucket list. Even the most, accomplished people. For example, I just found out that the Supreme Court Justice, her name is Ken Brown Jackson. She's the first female Supreme Court Justice, and she's on Anne Juliet right now on Broadway. Because when she was at Harvard, she was both pursuing the law and pursuing her theatrical, and both were going in the same place. And she never gave up on her dream of being on Broadway. And they rewrote Anne Juliet right now for her to be on Broadway. So,
awesome.
Hello, look at that achievement. And like, that's just next level.
Overachiever.
Next level, try hard in the best way possible. Keep trying really hard. My bucket list isn't of that caliber. I mean, I have one thing that's on my bucket list that is not even, it has to happen, and it has to happen pretty soon. My dad, was born in Glasgow, Scotland. And sadly, I've never been to Scotland, nor have I been to Glasgow. And my dad hasn't been back in years, and he still has family there. And it's overdue. It's overdue for us to go back. And I actually, one of the things that kind of comes out of having that on my bucket list is that there's a potential that I'm still eligible for dual citizenship, because he's a first generation. He was born in Glasgow, Scotland. And why wouldn't I pursue that? And why I haven't, I'm not really sure. But in 2025, I will get the answer to both.
Well, we're dual citizens. Myself, Michaela, for Ireland. We're from County Mayo. My grandfather came over here as one of 10. And when he was here at my dad's, he has a dual citizenship. So you have to do it. And it was much easier years ago because it was less paperwork and it was less strict. Now it's hard. So do it now before they don't really make it that easy for you. But we're dual citizens. And that's when I got hurt and broke my neck, I told the doctor, I said, "Oh, can you just rewire me like really strong? Because I want to go to the Olympics with my sister to do the bobsled for Ireland. So you could pick a sport and then maybe go to the Olympics."
But that sounds amazing. Let's
No.
see, what should I pick?
Not that big. Ireland probably has some very skilled humans.
Yes.
So does Scotland.
Well, no, not for bobsledding.
Not for Bob. You guys would be the perfect bobsled duo.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
My mom, her bucket list, because she keeps saying, I really want to go to Paris. And that's all she's wanted to do. So
She's
now
never been to
I
Paris.
hope she's never been to Paris.
she wants to go back to
Oh, okay,
Paris. But that was, you're talking about your father. I'm like, God. And it's something that you go, you know what? When your parents are still old enough and they can move. I mean, my mom's got so much giddy up. She drives and she's all over. And everyone's like, you really, you still play tennis? And she's like, with it. So we got to take her there. And
Well,
the
and-
bucket list, you're making me go, okay, time to plan a trip to Europe.
And the good thing about having a bucket list and how your mother-in-law, how Flo still plays tennis, is that once you continue to remember to always set goals and set things that you want to go do, then you'll continue to go do them.
Right.
And you'll continue to wake up and play tennis, and you'll continue to plan a trip that most people would think you're too old or you shouldn't go that far or whatever. And you just say, no, I'm still here on this planet. I'm still going to go. So what else is on your bucket list, Far?
I'm living through my kids right now because they are checking off boxes on their bucket list. And because they're going to such fabulous places, I get to check a box, next to my bucket list. So we're actually, Jen and I, and we're hoping that Dare will be able to
take 3Gs on the road.
We're going to
Down on
Australia because my daughter is living her best life and she wanted to go there and just kind of try to see what it's like to be an Aussie for a year. And she's making us rise to the occasion and go see what it's like to be the mother of a Aussie for the year.
Australia is one of my favorite
Can't
countries.
wait. Like the Great Barrier Reef, the Gold Coast. I would love nothing more than to make that happen when we're there. That happen if you're coming. But we're definitely going to, I guess we're flying into Perth directly from
Singapore.
and we're going to see if we can bounce around a little bit. It just depends on Mackenzie's lacrosse schedule and her work schedule and whatever, but we're going to do us because we're going around the world to be there.
Well, it's a lot of organizing. Maybe you should see if you can stop at a few places along the way.
That's the
But-
plan.
That always makes it the
Exactly.
journey that much
While you're
more
there.
fulfilling.
Mackenzie made that happen for us too. Like when she went to school in Sorrento, it was awesome. We packed up and we were like, okay, I've always wanted to see the Amalfi Coast. Pat does not love that type of a coast because there's no surf. And we made it into a girls' trip when we went to retrieve her and bring her back home. And we got to see, Positano, and
Oh, those are magical
I mean,
places.
yes, we got to do exactly what was on my bucket list. So
Well, and the thing that's crazy is that, and Shane was in
Oh.
Italy as well, and I went to Rome and I went to Venice, which I had never been to, and I took my mother, who needed a regroup after what had happened to my dad the year prior. But it's amazing how small the world has gotten to, where like some of these bucket list items that we're putting together are like multiple countries over like short periods of time, and it's incredible how small the world has gotten thanks to the way that travel is. And there are so many foreign destinations that would have been like your one and done. I mean, something that's been on my bucket list that I wanted to do when I turned the big 50 was a whatchamacallit, African safari. And that's still like
Oh, yeah,
top,
that's on my
top,
plans.
top, top
that's
three.
gonna happen.
And it needs to happen. But I think about like even the way that this sounds, and it just sounds like so bratty, which I'm so excited about how bratty all these travel plans.
But fun,
Now
it's
you're young
not-
enough.
It's not bratty. It's a bucket list. It's something
That's
that
a goal.
And
It's something that you want to make a
and-
reality. It's a dream.
when you were
Absolutely.
growing up, it was like, oh, I would love to be able to do this. Oh, I would love to have this car. I mean, you work hard, you figure out ways to make it happen. Jeff has always been to this ski place in Austria, and it's the Schneider Lodge, and he had these like magical experiences, and it's something that he keeps saying, we're going to go. We're going to go. I mean, he's been saying it for 5 years, and one day we'll actually pull it together and go, and it will be fabulous.
Of course, our bucket list ideas are all like travel. So refer back to our travel episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where we talked about how you can kind of make things happen very inexpensively if you become your own tour planner. And what I will say is on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, all of a sudden the flights to Australia were cut in half. I called Jen. I said, holy cow, we can fly to Australia for, I think it was $1,600 round trip. And that was including extra leg room for like us.
Oh,
And then-
Singapore. Just so we get our fact check.
Singapore.
Direct
well,
from Newark.
yes, but yes, we have to. Okay, sorry. From
That's okay.
Newark to Singapore, we still have to get from Singapore to Perth, which is like, I don't know, $300.
But we're also hoping that there might be some other things that happen.
Well, we'd like to also look in Singapore for a little bit.
No,
Like,
Singapore's
we're
No, that was on my bucket list. So I'm excited that Singapore is
that's on my
definitely
bucket list too.
a destination. Is one of the cleanest cities in the world. Though my husband said it's a little lackluster and quite vanilla. But I can't wait to form my own opinion, which is the other amazing thing about travel
I
is
just want to see it.
me
I
too.
want to like see it
Agreed.
with my eyes. I don't want to land in the airport and say I went to Singapore. I want to get out of the airport and cruise around for 24 hours.
Years ago, I wrote a travel show called Perfect Days. Outdoor Life Network picked it up, and it was basically all about traveling to all these countries. And when you get there, it's meeting a local, and that local shows you around. And that's my favorite thing to do when I travel, is to not be on the tourist kind of trip, to be on the local, all the ins and outs, the secrets, stashes, where to go. Like, I'm dying to go to Barbados. I've wanted to go there for a long time, and we always seem to just go to Costa Rica.
Fabulous.
And we're lucky that we're able to travel and surf and take our families there. But that's really exciting for me. Now, I want to go swimming with sharks. I surf with them. I paddleboard with them. I've been, free diving, and you see reef sharks in the Bahamas, and their fins go up. One looked right at me. I was like, ooh, as I backed myself up against a wall. But I
We
was
swam with them in a cage.
I want to get.
Puerto Rico.
And I'll check that. But no, we did it in Hawaii.
Was it Hawaii?
We did it in Hawaii.
Oh, I thought it was Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
No, it was Hawaii.
It was Hawaii.
Oh, we did it.
I want to do it.
But not really swam.
Well, no, that's good enough for me. That's my check. I'll check that box on my swimming at the shark someday.
I see them all the time, but I just want to be in and with because for me, it's facing my fear.
Yeah.
And even though I'm with them all the time, and I swear I have this sixth sense that
It's like getting the flu shot.
no.
A little dab of the flu, and maybe you will or won't get the flu.
Never.
A little encounter with a shark that is maybe going to reduce your fear, and also maybe they won't pay attention to you.
Well, I mean, you just kind of, it's like if you're afraid of a horse feels that and they'll kick you off. And then
I have too many shark stories now that I never had. I have personal shark stories now in my life.
I have a lot of
which is scary to me. Like, I actually know somebody that has been taken from us because of a shark story, which is just too horrific to actually even share with you guys because it seems so surreal.
Yeah.
But
It's-
but there's been, and like even now 3 degrees of separation, like Tommy Swain's roommate's sister, and it's like too many. Something's happening.
they're out there. It's
Something's
just the
happening.
way the ecosystem is, and there's more people in the water, and there's cameras, and there's film. They've always been there, and they're there, and you're swimming, and they're there. You see them; they'll come right through the break, and lifeguards will see them on their way out.
My bucket list is to not get eaten by one.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a good one. I like that. I'm on that team because I have a healthy respect for them as well. But Darian, I agree with you. I mean, there's a lot of things that have changed in the ecosystem, and I don't think that there's more. I think you hear more about them, and obviously, the older you get, the more stories you have. That's the good news and the bad news about even just having a bucket list.
So we're getting older.
Yeah, well,
No,
it beats
we're
the alternative of
We're
not
not.
growing older. I will say that.
We do have a lot of stories. But
Well, what happened is that with the seals, they said, okay, well, you can't kill great whites anymore, and they start
Right.
protecting the seals. And when they protect the seals, what comes? The great whites and the sharks that they're not allowed to kill. So places like Cape Cod and Long Island, the seals are migrating and they're getting bigger, and the sharks are getting bigger. And it's just part of it. California, they're right there. I remember, I'll never forget. I was at State Beach surfing, or San Onofre surfing, and Chuck Patterson, a friend of mine, takes his GoPro. We're out in the surf and goes like this and folds it in the water, brings it back up, and then posts all these like juvenile Grady's under everybody. And this was when it first came out that there were all the juveniles there. And people were like, oh my gosh. And the next day, there was a cover of the newspaper in San Onofre. There was a surfer that kind of had his back to the water looking at the beach. And there was a fin that was so big right behind him, and he had no idea. And it's, if you just relax and go with it, you'll be fine. Maybe once in a while you might get a little bite, but they're everywhere now.
Listen, John and Nate were fishing off the coast of New Jersey, not that far out. And Nate was really hot this past summer, and John was like, just hop in the water. And Nate's like, oh, Dad, we've been fishing, and da-da-da. And literally 2 seconds later, after Nate didn't get in the water, a shark swam right by.
Probably chummed or threw
But
something.
listen, these animals are smart, and we got to stop blaming the animals, in my opinion. Then we'll get back to bucket list. But if you're going to teach a shark or any other animal, a crocodile, pick your large top end predator. If you're going to teach them that humans mean food, then anytime there's a human, we mean food. Whether we're feeding the fish, or we're fishing for them, or we're spewing stuff out the side of a boat or the side of a house with the deer or the bears,
A
or
big old bear, and they
pick it.
they
Pick it.
boo-boo.
It's you can't. And at the end of the day, you can't blame the animal. In my view, you got to redirect the behavior, and we're going to redirect the behavior back to bucket list because this is stressing me out talking about that. So
Well,
I want to
it's
reduce my stress when it comes to interacting with large predators that can take me out in a bite. So anyway, on my bucket list, that there aren't a lot of large predators, is I want to either hit the North or the South Pole. I think the North Pole is probably more doable because they do a lot of the now tours of like the melting ice sheets, which again depresses me, but I'd like to see them before they're gone. I'd like to see some very like obscure place of the world that there's less humans, where I get more of the real experience of life in the wild without that interaction of human and animal.
You should go to Iceland.
I've been to Iceland.
Iceland's gorgeous.
Iceland should be on everybody's bucket list,
Yeah.
especially if you live in New York City, or around New York City, because the flight is super easy. You can go there for a long weekend. We did the whole Golden Circle, and
on my bucket list.
the
I haven't done it.
Come with us. We're going
It's
skiing there this. We're going skiing there this hopefully May.
I want to go to Egypt and see pyramids. Like I really do. I want to
Think
see
that-
the Sphinx. I'm like mesmerized by Egyptian culture, by the past Roman times. Like when we went to Rome, I just could immerse myself in there, and Pompeii. Like I want to relive what it was like through their eyes, and I feel like I haven't gone in that neck of the woods. So like Egypt is on my bucket list. I used to be so obsessed with like King Tut, and anything that we were taught in elementary school, it really registered with me. So I'm still in that mode. And I really would like to go to Israel, Jerusalem, and see everything that we read about from biblical times. I think it would be fascinating to do, that journey and be on tour with locals there
Of
and
course.
really do like a beautiful religious tour and just kind of see it and feel it and, become immersed in it.
I was thinking, I used to go, okay, I'm going to go here and I'm going to go there and I'd make it happen. And now when you have kids and you get older, all your dreams are now called a bucket list because after I stopped skiing, the only place I want to go is back to Alaska. I want to go to Points North. I want to see all my friends. I want to ski deep pow. I want to go as fast as my little legs can ski now. And now it's turned into my bucket list instead of a trip that you could really go on. I'm like, God, it's on my bucket list now. I want to go AK.
See, my husband's bucket lists are all surf spots. Right. So it's like, I got to see a little bit more of the world. I mean, going to Rome.
That's me.
And I will tell everybody that is listening, if you can go to Rome and you can do a sunset tour on a golf cart. We had the pleasure of doing that. And I mean, just to see the ruins and to be in that, like, just, I don't even know, the light that we had was like spectacular. And there's this one area where it's like a key hole. It's like the size of like the key that you get for the city. It's a big giant door and you look through this keyhole at sunset and it perfectly frames the Vatican. To me, that was amazing. Pompeii to me was one of my most favorite experiences. So I want to go and see remains that are still standing.
Deep history.
I that really does something for me. So I mean, the Great Wall of China, like I still would like to see that. I'd like to go to China. I would like to kind of see things that we read about and see in books. And I want to make that my reality.
Well, the history of so many things. I mean, the 7 wonders of the world, like those are should obviously be on everybody's bucket list, but those are pretty big aspirational things. I would love to see the Taj Mahal to that point.
Would love to.
I'd love
be
I'd love
great.
to be into that. But I also think it's interesting that there's so many things that like are within our own backyard that you're like, ooh, like the travel of the U.S. Like I've been to the Grand Canyon, but I haven't like done the Grand Canyon. I haven't done like the whitewater rafting. Like donkey, like I think
on a horse.
I think about the Brady Bunch, like that experience, and I've been trying to get my family, or 16 of us, that to take trips to do some different things, and it's interesting. And one thing I'll say to like the listening audience outside is that when you have little people, everybody's like, oh, they're too little, they won't appreciate it. But just bear in mind that the little people can tolerate things a lot more of the time than the older people can. So try and do, if you're going to skew one way, I would say skew on the children, your little people being younger, while your parents, if you're traveling with them, can still enjoy it, because it does get hard when you have age different people and you feel like you need to carry people and you need to do that. So, don't wait. It would be my thing, is like the kids' schedules are always going to be busy.
I
need
say
to bring
fly,
box
I say
line.
fly into, like, let's say Utah, like this is something that was always on my bucket list with my parents. And we actually did it. We went on a White River rafting trip in the Green River, and it was an amazing experience.
So fun.
And then from there, I really wanted to do Mount Rushmore because that's something that everybody should see. It's actually like just fascinating that they could really do that. But go somewhere and rent an RV.
Well, that's
Like,
your parents. Your parents didn't even rent it, right? They were people that, like, that's what they did.
But they didn't do it with me.
Our
I wanted to do that my
fun.
whole life. And my parents got an RV when I was like old, and they toured out west, and that's all I wanted to do. So if you feel like you don't want to get into an RV from Florida or from New Jersey and drive, to like Utah or to the Grand Canyon or wherever it is that you want to go, fly to your destination, rent an RV there, and go do, like, Arches and Four Corners and Mount Rushmore, like where it's a little bit more feasible. The Great Redwood Forest, all of it. The Great Salt Lake, there's so many amazing things, but make it a family adventure. And, you don't have to drive cross country to do it. You can fly in and you can organize a trip.
RVs are the most fun. Every April for, I don't know, 10 years or so when we were skiing, we would go to Alaska, and you'd go with your group of friends and different film crews. And one year I went with Kim Rakelm. She's a female skier, and we went in an RV, and that was your house. It was just your house on wheels.
All I wanted to do.
Everywhere you go, you're like, okay, let's go up to the ski resort. And you'd go up, or not the resort, you go to the helipad. And we'd be in there. You never forgot anything. It's with you. Your ski boots are there. Like, I'll never forget. We were coming from down in the village and we're going up to go to the helipad, and it was dumping. And mind you, the helicopters don't fly when it's snowing, but we're like, all right, well, let's go up. We're going to go see Doug Coombs and some other people. So going up, all of a sudden it's a whiteout. We come up over, and we have a giant RV with ski gear and everything. And we come up over the pass, and it was like, can't see anything.
Black ice.
Uh-oh. We're going now sideways. Now we're going across it's an Alaskan road. So there's, 2-lane highway sideways. And I'm like, Kim's driving. I'm like, oh my God. Bottles of Jack Daniels are flying out of like the cabinets up there onto the ski boots. It was like mayhem. I'm like, I see a bunch of rocks. Hit it. Like, point the tires. Hits the tire. Like, hits the rock. And was like, we fishtailed a little bit. Straighten it out. We were just like, oh my God.
How about
It was
that coming
so
to
much
US
fun.
Open in their RV, and they hit like a cow,
Oh, yeah.
and there was
Holy cow.
cowhide on the front of their
Oh my.
RV.
On the RV.
And yeah, that was like bragging rights when they got to Killington for the US Open.
It's so much fun. But their place,
I'm mad at my
they're-
parents. They took my dream and made it theirs after I couldn't be a part of it anymore, which is a bummer because I wanted so badly after seeing Escape from Witch Mountain. I don't know if you guys remember that
It was
movie.
one of my favorite movies.
That was an RV that could fly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like magic. And that was my favorite.
They were witches.
Yes. And so it's like I thought that RVs had magical power and they could take you anywhere, which they
Wait,
can.
they
But
can.
they can though.
They can.
They
Except
can.
I'm kind of on team 3-day RV. So I'll be happy to fly someplace
That's
and
all I
do
wanted.
RV for 3 days.
Yes.
But after that, I get to the point where I recognize it's glorified camping. And I love to camp. We hiked a whole bunch of times and camped a lot of places with our friends from Connecticut. And I'm good on the camping. I grew up camping. RV, I think, again, is a couple
We're
of
also when
steps.
you go away to actually have amenities and to be weighted on
Right,
because,
yeah.
it's like a lot of times we rent houses together and we end up cooking and doing laundry.
Everything I do when I'm home.
Yeah. So, it is a bucket list idea of mine is to actually like not have to do any manual labor when I go somewhere and to actually be able to say like, hi, can I please have a drink?
Well,
Or-
you can rent an RV, get your crew, because we're going to go to Acadia Mountain one of these years in Maine and take the RV from here and kind of just make our way up the coast and end up there. That's one of our bucket list items.
Is that Acadia National Park?
Yes,
I've been
Acadia
there.
National Park.
It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
freezing cold, but it was like I went to this beautiful little part of the park, like as north as you can go. And I was with Ginny and we were in Maine. We were on a road trip. And I thought this water is like iceberg water. I don't even think it ever warms up.
It's beautiful from what I hear. And we'll surf on the way,
Oh my God.
hike, and
It's
it'll
a
be
beautiful,
fun.
that is a beautiful journey. We went white river rafting up there somewhere too.
yeah.
All right. So another thing that's now we're going to take out of the beautiful scenic journeys. I want to go to Carnival. I want to go.
I do too.
Oh.
I would like, please. Can we make that I think the 3 Gs.
Can I go back to my like 3-year-old body though?
and
Carnival. I'd like to
Totally.
like go to.
yeah, but we're
Carnival.
smarter.
Like-
We're smarter, and our checkbooks and wallets are a little thicker. So I think it'll be more fun.
Is it a girls' trip or is it husbands are included?
I don't think my husband would let me go there by myself.
Yeah, I don't think my
I think I need to have a
I've
chaperone
never surfed
or
it,
two.
So like
Exactly.
Yeah, Rodrigo Mendez.
Yes.
We can go see Rodrigo.
Rodrigo, we've said
Yeah, we've said that too many times. I feel like I've been in that conversation, and
yeah.
Go to see Rodrigo. I know his poor father died. It was sad. He was a legend. But Rodrigo would be so fun. He was
Shane
so
and Allie would be in on that trip too.
Yeah.
That would be
One-
okay. That's a bucket list.
that's a big bucket list because going to South America, like hardcore South America, I've
yeah.
never entered that continent. Like,
too.
and I think it's probably needs to happen.
Venezuela. I don't know if I have to go back anytime.
No.
Oof.
We went to school with two guys from Venezuela, and they were great.
And I went to a
Loved
surf
them.
camp that was raw and rugged. And
I thought you were in Nicaragua.
maybe that's where I was. Let's do. For Nicaragua, I don't have to go.
No, go back to Nicaragua. Don't go back to Venezuela.
I was gonna say,
Now, Nicaragua, the sand was black. So it was like so dark and it was so hot. It was like my heater on
Oh.
fire. It was beautiful country. I mean, it was like crazy, crazy surf.
But that's still considered Central America for my geography-minded humans, right?
Costa Rica, El Salvador, Nicaragua. So Costa Rica is very Americanized. El Salvador, it's not
I've been
as
there.
much. I mean, it's
Good fishing.
it's
Great fishing.
It's good
Yeah.
fishing, good surfing. You still like we had bodyguards when we went there where we stayed
El Salvador.
in El
Yeah,
Salvador.
us too.
And then Nicaragua.
I wanna
is
go to
just
Cuba.
Fantastic.
I don't think we're allowed to go to Cuba anymore. I thought it was open then closed.
I wanted to go because Brett Johnson, a friend of ours from LA, he was putting on a concert called Cuba America or something. It's like this big music fest. And when they opened it up, I wanted to go there so much.
It's like closed.
It was
I don't know.
right when we
That's what
actually
we
were
got.
getting married. And I said, Jeff, let's go to Cuba and get married because I love all the classic cars. Because all the
Makes sense.
cars are still there. And that's like, I just am obsessed with cars, classic cars. So we wanted to do that, which comes to one of my next bucket lists. I wanted to drive a rally car.
Really, still going to happen?
We'll see. See how
Is
my
it still on your list?
it's still on my list. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I
Next
want to
time
I
we
want to
travel
drive
to Cuba.
I want to drive in a racetrack. I still want to race cars.
Authorized reasons only.
I was going to say, I don't think so.
I
No.
think it was open and then it was
Official
Yeah,
business,
it was a very short
like
period.
Activities,
I think it was a short period. They were like, yeah, wait, what?
public performances,
hey, no.
No.
humanitarian projects.
Yeah. But it's amazing how they open up a place. We did
Podcasts.
but we did
A business.
we did look to get
Business.
married there. Because it was that time the window was
Yeah,
open.
it was a
And
very small, yeah, I feel like it was a small one.
Jeff was like, what? I'm like, yes, let's go over there. And we thought it would be so great and grabbed us out. Oh, but it didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Well, yes, Americans can travel to Cuba. If you fly directly from the U.S. to Cuba, you need to do some extra paperwork. You will need to buy a travel card, tourist card from the airline and declare your visiting reasons for Cuba and make sure they're valid.
Yeah, but you just went through the valid reasons and you don't have one. So,
Yes,
yeah.
every case.
Oh, it's a 3G
It's
road trip.
The business. We got business.
I don't know. I feel like Cuba has fallen off. I feel like they're economically not doing so great right now, but I'll have to fact check that as well. I
Go
feel
to
like
Key
they,
West.
they're
I
having.
do want
and
to
you're
see
gonna
I feel like they're having a
kangaroos.
tight time. Oh, I'm excited. to
I
see
do want to see
kangaroos.
kangaroos and koala bears while we're in Australia. So even
They're
if we
so
have to like
cute.
figure out how to find them, we're finding.
I think they're.
Every-
Wait. Is this
Mac
dog.
hasn't seen them yet.
They're like dogs.
I think like you have to kind of be,
in the right spot?
You can find them.
I don't want to find them in a sanctuary or like a
No,
zoo or something.
they're-
I want to find them.
They're live. When I was there, like we went.
Because I saw you to New York City for that, or
I
you know, like,
Exactly. I used to want to go on the Congo River. I used to want to go into Brazil, and I used to be obsessed with like, what was that movie called? It was like the Emerald Forest. It was like where almost like Mowgli. It was like a kid got taken in by like the natives and raised as a native, and then
the Jungle Book.
it's kind of like the Jungle Book, but it was
Was
really
Congo in Africa though?
the Congo. No, yes,
Yes, Congo's
yes,
in
it's okay.
Africa.
The Nile.
Thank you.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Okay.
and Rio, right?
But I don't want
On the Rio Grande.
I don't want like bugs, like,
Yeah.
scary, like, you can get really sick on those trips and you can be exposed.
Yeah, but
to
that's
a
kind
lot
of par for the course. That's part of why people don't. This is part of why some of these places aren't on people's bucket list because
Yeah.
the downside far outweighs the upside of traveling to some of these remote locations. Because
getting
as
dengue
we know,
or
you get
malaria.
someplace, you don't have the comforts of home.
But you also have to know the ins and outs. When we went to Bali for
I
7
got
weeks
Bali.
with my girlfriends, it's on a surf trip. We knew dawn to dusk, you're covered. Your arms are covered, your legs are covered, everything, because the mozzies come out and you don't want to get
We took malaria pills before we got
Yeah, you have to take it.
You're not.
you have to
Kansas
respect,
anymore, Dorothy.
but you respect the culture. You respect.
Mackenzie's going to Bali.
You learn a lot.
Going in March.
Yeah,
Got
it's
her-
amazing.
On Cyber Monday, she got unbelievable tickets from Australia to Bali for a very minor note.
Bali's it's amazing. Everything about it. I loved just the people, the culture. Well, the
Well, we
waves,
hope we've
everything on that surf
inspired
trip.
you guys.
Well, one of my bucket lists that I really have my window is kind of it's getting smaller for me to do. I've wanted to do this. There's a paddleboard race. It's the Molokai to Oahu. It's 32 miles, island crossing. I've wanted to do it since they've had it, and I've been too injured and had babies and whatever. So now that I have a new knee,
that
and you get your own chase boat, and you literally go island hopping. Not island hopping. I mean, it can be pretty
it's
hard.
Hawaiian
work.
Islands. It's-
Hawaiian Islands. You're in the middle of the ocean, might be the only person paddling in your zone because
How many miles is it?
32-mile crossing. And I really want to do it. And now that I actually have a trainer and I'm lifting,
Well, how many miles is it? How many miles is
Sounds like a
was
free
the
trip.
race that you did in New York City?
it's 28 miles.
Okay.
But you're in wide open ocean, currents going everywhere, but you train for it. That's the kind of water I like. I don't like flat water is just, it's flat water. I prefer conditions and trying to ride a swell and kind of getting bucked off. The more hardcore, the better. That is like my number one bucket list in regards to an activity that I want to do.
I like it.
So you're reminding me of it's never too late because you made me think of Diane Nyad, who did not make her swim and then returned when she was like 60, I want to say. And I'm trying to fact check it, but it just doesn't really matter because everybody can fact check on their own. But she ended up completing it when she was decades older. So your bucket list is never too late. Like you might have forgotten what's on your bucket list. You might not really know what's on your bucket list for 2025 and future beyond. But we at the 3Gs here at Girls Gone Gritty, we want you to know that part of one of things on my bucket list was to have some kind of a show. So I do feel like this program, this beautiful podcast that I'm doing with two of my best friends has fulfilled a lifelong dream of mine of actually having something that we created, we grew, we're making happen. And I think that's really cool too. So I want to thank you for tuning into another episode of Girls Gone Gritty. Again, think about this January, putting together your list of to-dos for 2025 and beyond, and do it before you kick the bucket. Make your own bucket, fill your cup. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Peace out. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Girls Gone Gritty.
You can check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
If this episode hits home, share it with someone who needs to get gritty.
The 3Gs, we'll see you next week.
Peace out.